Alright guys, so welcome to today's video. In today's video, I would like to create something brand new which I've never seen in Roblox yet. And I personally call this one the Observation Haki's final stage, okay? So when we speak of Observation Haki throughout Roblox games, there are basically two variations of it. The first one is that you're basically able to dodge every attack, so that's the first variation. The second one is that you're able to look through walls and that you're able to spot enemies easier. Okay, so I have shown you how to create both of them on this channel, but now I have a third variation which is going to be more appealing to the last variation I've just explained. It means that you're able to observe more, and the third one is going to be you being able to just move your camera around freely. Okay, so that's the next variation I would like to work on. So some kind of free cam, and there are once again two more variations we could do to this one. The first one is that we just set our camera to custom, to fixed, I think. Not to fixed, yeah, to fixed. And then we were like basically able to just move our camera. The problem with this one is that you're basically able to move around across the entire map, and also there is no limit, and that's something I personally do not like. So I want you to have some limits when it comes to this. Therefore, I'm gonna use my own variation right here. But let's just begin with the video so you guys will see what I'm talking about. Let's call this one Observation Haki Final Form. Let's add a local script inside here. Go. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. So the first thing, I don't know if you were able to hear me. My microphone was just yeah, at a different spot. So the first thing which you want to make sure is that we want to check whether this tool has been equipped or not. Therefore, I have created this variable right here. This variable. Wait, am I quiet? Wait, never mind. So, yeah, we have this variable right here, and once the tool has been equipped, we want this variable to be true. So equip true. So script parent refers to script.parent, so a tool, and then .equipped is basically when it has been equipped. That's it. Second thing is that we want to make sure that this equipped variable is false once the tool has been on. Okay, those are the two things which we need to do, and we need to do it because we'll now refer to the user input service. Input again. There we go. So what this user input service does is that, yeah, it is responsible to detect the user. Okay, so every concern regarding the user's input is done via the user input service, and we are going to make use of this input again event, which tells us when an input has begun. So input in this case is when you, for example, have pressed the key on your keyboard or have pressed the mouse button. Okay, when those kind of inputs begin, this event is fired. So the arguments we receive is the input and something called game processed event. So the input should be clear. Of course, the input you have done is the first argument. Second one, so this game processed event tells us whether this input was done on purpose or not, because this game processed event tells us whether you were interacting with game elements or not. Okay, if you were interacting with the chat, for example, or with any other shops or whatsoever, so with any in-game elements, then we can conclude that the input was not done on purpose. Therefore, we want to check if not GP. So if GP is not true, which means that you did not interact with those kind of things. If that's the case, then we want to check for the input you have done, because then you have done something. So you have done input. And yeah, that's the case we want to keep an eye on. Now, what I'm doing right here, that I'm checking if key has been pressed as Q basically. Okay, so that's the way and how you can do this. Now, next thing I would like to do is that I would like to insert a remote event and a script. Alright, so let's do things. Alright, but before we continue with this, I would like to create something for this observation thing. I'm going to be creating. Oh, I'm going to clone this dummy right here. I'm gonna get rid of the humanoid and everything regarding the legs. So get rid of this. This will probably fall apart, right? See? That is not perfect. Very good. Problem is, are we able to move this? If we are, will it then fall apart? Perfect, perfect. Very good. So what I'm now about to do, delete a port. Well, I don't know. Okay, no, not do anything. Good. So let's give it some interesting colors, right? Force field. Oh. My intention is to somehow make this look like a soul. So final form or the final stage of this observation is you going to, or your consciousness going to go outside of your body, then just observe what is around you. Really, that's what that was my plan, at least for this observation, right? Okay, so let's put this inside of the replicated storage because we will need it later on. Now let's go inside of the server script right here. Let's first of all call this one the remote. So inside of the server script, we want to check when this remote event has been fire servered. We still need to fire server it. So script fire server. Yeah. Observation. State. Now we could even, I don't know, let's just fire server it. So this is very unusual for me because I'm usually someone who tells server script what to do via argument. So I like to have some kind of argument which basically presents the task which the server script is going to do. I split up the tasks via if statements, so you can go ahead and watch my videos if you don't know about it. But that's usually what I personally. But I don't think that this is necessary in this video because I'm going to do something special here. So, or something at least for me special. So yeah, on server event, and we first of all refer to the right. So script parent remote. Server event is an event which happens when you fire server a remote. We are basically receiving the player via this file. So did not enter the player right here. Do not need to do that because the player is automatically just being passed. Now, next thing I want to check for is whether there is something inside of the player called observation. And we want to check if this does not exist, okay? So My idea was that you're going to place an instance inside of the character, so probably an int value, which has the name observation and which tells the script, because the script is checking out for it, so which is able to tell the script whether the player is currently in observation mode or not. If the player is not in observation mode, then we obviously want to make the player in observation mode. That is going to happen down here. Now else right here describes the opposite case of this one. The opposite case of an instance called observation not being character is of course the instance being inside of the character. So that's the opposite case. And this happens when the player is currently in observation mode. So we want to get the player outside of this mode down here. Alright, so that's just for you to understand my ideas. So let's try to get the player inside of observation. So what do we have to do? Now we have to do a lot of, first of all, camera related stuff. Before we do that, we have to clone this observation done. So make sure that can collide is false, right? That's very now. I'm gonna create a variable called op, stands for observation. I don't know. Yeah, and then we have to refer to the replicated storage. We have to refer to observation dummy furthermore, and we have to clone it. Then we are going to put it inside of the character, and we'll add a body position. My God, come on. Why am I able to add a body position? Is the usage of body positions, body movers in general, is that deprecated or... Wait. Alright, so the alternative to body position seems to be a line position, but I have looked through it and it doesn't really look promising. So about a line position is that you need two parts, at least two attachments, and that's not what we want to do. So I don't know why they did replace body position with that. Body position is way better to our purpose, right? So yeah, never mind. I've just acquired it, so it's no problem now. So make sure that max force is high. Yeah, minute. Okay. So let's go inside of here, and before we parent this our character, I want to make sure that our character is unable to move. So walk speed equal 0, jump power 0 as well. Next thing is that we set the body position, so OB torso position. So we set the body position's position to our character upper torso's position. After that, I'm going to make this soul, let's say, ours. We're going to levitate. Yeah. Is there any way to make this? Okay, then never mind this actually. This so make sure that the upper torso is angled first of all to actually see frame upper torso our observation dummy. See frame the upper torso to our characters part out. Okay. Now, next thing we do is that we insert a body position inside of this upper torso of our OB, model of our soul model right here. Make sure that the max force is very high, so F huge, F huge. Then we want to make the position its current position with some additional values. So we want to make this thing go above the player's levitate. And yeah, once this BP, so it's created, we can set this anchor false or upper torso and then see how this thing levitate. This is not about number of model observation. Yeah. Upper torso. I forgot. Okay. Now, down here, what you want to do is that we are going to script. So we are now going to file client those remote as a float. It's going to be a lot about camera movement, camera manipulation. That's basically the point. So we are only able to manipulate the camera via client. That's the reason why we are now this. So the first argument for fire client is always the player you're trying to fire client to. So player, player. And the second thing now is going to be the task argument, which describes the task. Local script. Task in this case going to line camera to now script remote on client event. That's basically the same thing as on server event, only for fire clients. Client event. What? In this case, we have to play right here. It's pretty obvious. Player is right here. But this one is this now. Basically the task. So if what? Line camera. So if that is the task, which is supposed to be done, then we want to. So local space current cross. So you have to. Then we want to do camera type. We actually want to keep. Wait. Now we actually want to keep camera type. Just want to change the camera subject to. Now it is getting interesting. Yeah, second thing. So second pass is this dummy, observation dummy, so OB. So that's the second thing. We want the camera subject to be dummy's upper torso. And the C frame, our camera, also has to be dummy's hat. The dummy's hat's C frame. There we go. Let's see how this is now. Not a valid member. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. That's the reason why I tend to overuse wait for child. This is exactly the. Yeah. There we go. Now our camera is set to this soul of ours, let's say. And yeah. Now have to script that we are able to fly around freely, let's say. Yeah, let's do that. So, I'm gonna have a variable right here called observation mode. It's going to be default, but it is going to turn on to true once we are, or once our camera is focused on our dummy. And if that's the case, we want to have some checks right here. And those checks, they are going to check whether, yeah, we have pressed W, for example, or any other keys which are responsible to make our character move. And if that is the case, we want to move our dummy forward, backwards, left, and right, you know, so all of it. It's right here. Yeah. Okay, so let's fire saw then. Telling the script to move forward. Look, so the mechanism is going to be the exact same one as the Kaido Dragon transformation fly video, you know? So yeah, means we will also need a body gyro right here. G U. Let me actually take a look inside of. As you can see, body gyro. Copy this. I've explained what this thing is. Explain again. So body gyro in this context is going to make us allow us to rotate freely while we fly, okay? And rotating in the context of flying also means that you determine which direction you're flying to. Yeah, that's it. Maybe even should this one down here. Yeah, down here. Then we create a spawn function. I know back in practice, the pro scripters out there, they are literally crying right. Practice. Still, good. File. Space. Child. Name. Child. Ah, wait. Wait, I could do the observation of this or like this. While dummy exists do. Ah, wait. Not. So repeat. plane is so instead of our dummies, so child instead of now let me explain what happens right here. So we fire client, as you can see, and formally find the camera to change the camera subject to a dummy, change the C-frame, enable this observation, and mode. So this is up in current observation. What happens down here? First of all, this one function makes this one run background, let's say, or port rest. Adding some kind of loop inside of here would pause the whole script, means we wouldn't be able to do this, for example, or any other things which will come now as well. But yeah, what is this loop responsible for? So what this loop does is that it's this until the dummy does. What is this? This basically, so let me just break it down. First of all, refer to the body gyro, which is located in the dummy's. So we furthermore refer to the C-frame, and we set a total C-frame. C-frame space is first of all, yeah, look, so we have to change this because it is not our character, but it is our dummies torso's position. That's important. That's the base for our C-frame. Second argument, basically adding our mouse influence instead of the C-frame. So why mouse influence? The soul, let's say, to look in the direction which our mouse is pointing. This is what happens, right? Getting all of the coordinates, or all of the axis, our mouse direction, let's say, so X, Y, Z. Combining this with our dummy's current position. And so one more thing to make this work, we have to move forward. And what have I done right here? Forward. Okay, first requirement, brain position exists. What has to do with animations, but not. Yeah, the third one is add a body velocity, and as long as the body velocity is basically, forward, actually take this right here, and one more requirement in order to be able to move forward is that there is this observation dummy inside of your character. So observation dummy. So dummy. I'm gonna move on. So now we also should check for check for the body position. Also body position, which is inside of our upper torso, of course. And if this body position was found, then we have to destroy it, because we're not able to any further while having a body position inside of us. That's the problem. So the body position, your dummy right there would stay at its place, body position. So there is no for the body velocity to move forward. That's the reason why we have to get rid of body position first, or we add body velocity inside of here. And after we have added the body velocity, first of all, want to add it inside of our observation dummies. So that's the first thing. Max force, is okay. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. So as long as body velocity exists, and What happens down here? Basically, velocity direction where our equation dummy is looking to multiply with 2. Might be too much. Let's put 50. And yeah, that's it. So we are now able to move forward, but we are not able to stop this move. Now what happens now? Wait, I've probably forgot to add a weight, right? I forgot to add a weight. I forgot. Yeah, and weight right here. Yeah. Okay, sorry for that. Let's move on. What is happening now? Yeah, good thing. So why is this just moving a little bit forward, then deciding to it's yeah. Let's actually move on. Reading this whole thing. See if this arrow select does that. Waiting. Fix for it. So now I have to script paste that. Let go of the W key. Go to enter. Basically just use the same thing as here. The name suggests. Yeah. Event which happens when input or when a input is ended. So GP is still the same thing. And we'll check if the input which has ended is the W. Press down. So input W observation mode and this mode. So else what and forward, and there is a body velocity inside of the torso. Then we want to destroy a body velocity. That's the first thing, because there is no point in having it anymore. Then we want to create this body position inside of the upper torso right here. So as we have done up there, and we want the current position of this observation dummy. So the current position, the body position's position. And there we go. Anything I forgot? Probably not. Let's check it out now. I don't think that this has done anything to fix that problem. Yeah, no, look. The problem is actually with the body gyro itself. Let's actually use a while loop. While dummy do. Ah, still doesn't work. Okay, look. Problem is probably because we are using this dummy right here. So what we have to do is that we have to refer to our character first of all. So workspace, wait for child, game players, local player name. So basically our character is inside of the workspace right here, and it has the same name as our player. Therefore we can just use this reference right here. And furthermore we have to define first child observation dummy. So while this is a thing, while it is existent, I'm gonna have this. It still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. Let's use these as references instead of always having dummy right. How funny. How funny, how funny. There is no reason for it to not work. Very funny. And maybe we have to place this outside of this file. Let's see how we've done it. So we should check while the body gyro is existent. Maybe this will help. Upper torso. Child. Body gyro. This will help. I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna try and find a fix and then I'll be back.